Alright, so today we're going to be installing the side lights on the Bobcat T76 and S66. I already did the T76 over here, so that's what the finished result will hopefully look like. Here's all the stuff you're going to need. So this is what came off. These are the bolts in order how they came off. The light is like this, outside being on the right side. So you're going to have the bolt holding it from the outside. This bolt's holding this bolt from coming out on the inside, washer, and then the locking nut. So from the factory, this is the stuff you're going to get. You're going to get the two lights in the box, the big box there. They come in two separate packages for the lighting. Then you'll come with all new screws and hardware. One very important thing that our dealership does to make it easier on us, on the back side here, they glued 10mm nuts on the back side instead of us having to reach in there to lock that by hand. So gluing that to the back allows you to put it in there and just bolt it out from the outside, which you'll see. So a much necessary and much needed thing. I hope that Bobcat takes note and just glues those nuts back there to make the install a lot easier. So thank you to Camp Implement for doing that for us. Alright, so we're going to start by grabbing the flathead, pop it in the cab, and we are going to start on this left side over here. It's a lot easier than the right side. Go ahead and grab your flathead. May or may not need that, and just pry it off by hand. I have this pre-popped out, so it should just pop right off. You got your wires back there. Right there is your one right side of that the light assembly back there, and the other one's going to be back there. The distance you can measure it from the outside if you need to. But what we're going to do is we're going to take that 10mm ratchet that out, and then from there the nut's going to come off. The washer's going to come off, and then we'll head to the outside to get the rest of it off. And another quick tip is those nuts right here, they're very, very loose, so you could literally you could probably do it by hand. You don't even need a 10mm. Try it by hand. It just takes like a small quarter turn to get them loose, and then you can just do it by hand. Alright, so we're going to take our flathead that we used inside, as well as these right here. Anything you can use to pry on and something. We're going to come up here to the top. The tool's up here. You can just push this out. You can also do that from the inside. So once you get those two things off, you can push these out. The washer's going to fall off on the inside, but no biggie. Pull it out inside or outside. There's your piece that comes off. Alright, so on the inside, that's what it looks like. Basically your vent area back there. So these bolts do not like to come out. They got that little locking black nut on there. And they're kind of a pain to get off, but I figured out a good way to do it. Take your flathead, get behind it from the outside, and just pry it on each side. Just kind of opening it, make sure not to damage your paint, your powder coating, and then just work those out. Once you get them just enough to get these on, grip on it, and pull out or wiggle it out, it'll come right out, and the black piece will fall wherever it is you can find it. So that's the easiest way that I found to do it. You're not going to reuse them. They give you extra ones if you want to use them. I'll show you guys what we do and our dealer did to help us out with this. So let me get these out. I'll be right back. Alright, so that's all out. There's the hardware up top. Don't forget to get your nuts and bolts from down here. So to give you guys a quick idea, on the inside there's a thicker cable with a nice coating on the outside. It's going to be split right here, going to other accessories. On that same line there's going to be a white zip tie kind of in the back, hidden. You kind of got to reach for it, but that's where your connection is. I had to cut the zip tie on this one. The other machine I didn't have to. It was enough slack on it. This is your connection for the lighting, plug and play. So it's on that main nice wiring harness. So now we're going to install the light. Take the blue plastic off the light. There's a nice rubber seal around this light. Try to get to focus here. There's a nice rubber seal that keeps moisture out of the cab and the body. Very nice. Again, like I said, they glued that nut to the back to help not have to reach back where you had to reach for your 10mm. And also, we're using another 10mm bolt right here. Try to get to focus. Alright, so we got the light in. Here's the important part. So with putting these other bolts in that the dealer supplied for us and gluing those bolts to the back, I don't have to maneuver the way getting them out back in. With the light glued, the bolts glued to the back of the lights, now I'm just able to hold the light from the inside and screw these in and tighten it down. A lot easier than what the factory has set up for you with the new bolts that they provide you. This is a much easier way to do it. Alright, so I set the camera on the other Bobcat. Let's see if this helps you guys out a little bit. So you can reach around, I'm just stepping on the tire right here. Reach around, put some pressure on the light, make sure it's all lined up correctly. Looks good. Run your bolt. Tighten it down. Good, one down. Grab the other bolt. Put some pressure on that side of the light. Tighten that. Awesome, now we're gonna come down here. I think it's over here. We're gonna grab the ratchet. Put you guys back up here. Zoom in a little bit. All right, now we got that. Just tighten them down. You'll notice when you're tightening it, the light's gonna suck out towards you, giving that seal a really nice fit for the machine, keeping all that water and grime out. Hand tighten them, take a bit, and tighten them down snugly. I highly recommend you do this by hand. It is plastic, a plastic light behind that, so make sure that you're hand tightening it because you can overdo this and you can break the plastic behind it. So from there, the light's gonna be installed from the outside. Feel free to use some Loctite on these bolts from the inside or whatever you wanna do. If you wanna tighten those down with some Loctite, feel free to do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna climb down here, hop in the cab one more time. Take the safety cap off your light right here, or the wiring harness, plug it into your light, close this back up, good to go on this left side. So now we're gonna work on the other side. Exact same process, only difference is you're gonna have a much smaller opening to work with. If you have somebody that has small hands, grab them. There's a way to do it in a way that's it's gonna take a long time, and make sure you just find someone with small hands. Use your 10mm wrench, get back there. It's sitting behind, you can measure it from the outside of the bolt that's over here to over there, but it's somewhere on the right side of that middle vent. Just get it loose, kind of spin the nut off and let it drop. Don't worry about the washer, just let everything drop. Once you get this cover off, you'll be able to reach in there, grab the nut, use a magnet, whatever you need to get that taken care of. Okay, I want to give you guys the best representation that I can from being in the dark skid steer. So there's another outlet right here. This is what the bolt that you're trying to get to down here. The best way to get it in, get those small hands or somebody, or a wrench that's like a 90-degree angle, or just something to get in there. When you get in there, your hand's in there, you're gonna try to feel for the nut like that around it. And it's really tight to get around. Inside there, you've got your vent on one side, that's like the channels, and you have this little path opening. The bolt's like between the air duct and the side of the thing, whatever you call it. But it's hard to get your wrench in there, but you can do it. Just push that fabric back a little bit and then pop it back on. So when you're trying to feel for it, just be patient. It'll get on. You really just got to get a quarter turn. When you have it loose, get your hand in there. Just try to find a way to just run that nut off, let it drop, and you should be good to go to pull this left side off. So got those nuts off on the inside. I can just push this in. It's going to pop off. You just make sure you're fully popped off. There we go. So we can pull that out like that. Throw that down over there. All right, so that's what I'm talking about, the vent right there. You can see how close that is to the wall right there. Try to get as best as I can shot-wise. So you're working with just this tight little area in there to give you just an idea of distance. About double the opening size to get to that bolt. And the nut's gonna be dropped down there. So just reach in there, kind of feel where it's at. Goes a little bit behind. Also find that washer in there, which will take me a second to find, but then do the same process, flat head behind, pull, 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 and you're good to go with the next step. To give you guys another visual representation, get your screwdriver back there, pop that out. So you're just gonna have a little bit of wiggle in there. Grab your pry tools, grip onto it, and kind of wiggle and pull out. And that should come right out. So everything's out. There's the new light going in. There's a connector for it. It's upside down, so it'll be flipped the other way. But I just want to reiterate, in the package you're going to get these, which are the exact same stuff that you pulled out. Bobcat gives you brand new ones. If you want to do it that way, go ahead, do it that way. You're making a lot more work for yourself. With the dealer doing this the gluing on the back, it's freaking awesome. I hope Bobcat takes note of it. Glue those nuts to the back. You're literally popping it on and screwing them in from the outside, and that you're done. That's it. This is a lot harder. This is a lot easier. Why would you not go that route? So recommend asking your dealer about it. Tell them to watch the video. Glue the nuts to the back, and then you can grab 2 new 10mm bolts. I think they've got whatever you call it on the back that make them secure to the, kind of ribbed or whatever. Try to get focused. So they got some of that, but put some Loctite on it, do whatever you want to do, but I think this is a really great way to save you a bunch of time and a bunch of headache. I'm gonna grab the light, we're gonna put it in. Because of the small opening, the little connector is gonna be a little bit big for the opening, but it will fit. Go from the inside, take your time, it will fit. Make sure when you're putting it in, it goes the right direction, you have the right orientation. The tall side's up and the skinny side's down. This one's a bit more of a reach. Just get in there, grab it, maneuver it to fit, make sure you're not pinching any wires. Grab your 2 nuts that the dealer supplied for us. Hold it from the back side with the right hand, screw in with the left hand. 10mm, snug these down. Don't do it by drill, do it by hand. Use your ratchet, tighten them down. Now you guys are probably like, why don't you guys just order this from the factory with the lights in? Well, these machines are so new and so popular right now. We just tried to get our hands on them. They didn't have them. It's an option we wanted for snow. They had to order them in. They're back month ordered for like a month or 2, but we got them in. Didn't want the dealer to do it because we don't want to bring the machines down there, back, down there, back. I'm gonna have to anyway because we gotta put the software in for the light to work on the outside. I couldn't get it to work with but there's 3 options on the lights. So you do button 1 is the main lights, button 2, back lights, button 3 should be the side lights. Not working, so I'll have to bring it down to the dealer, have them put in the software, whatever they need to do to get it to work. Let me snug these down, we'll get in the inside. All right, so in this right side, small hiccup. So I couldn't find the wire over here. If you can't find that, 3 screws up here, 1, 2, 3. We'll take this display off. Here's the back of the display if you guys didn't know. So 2 connections there. On the back of the display, the wiring harness for the light is right here. Search around, it'll be there. Run that through the back. So if you can't find the wiring harness over there, it's back here. Just take that off and you can put those on 3 bolts. Super easy. So small hiccup, but moving on. By the way, those lights are labeled side light on both sides. All right, so on the panel here, push the button for on. Everything will pop on. All right, so down here, you've got 3 lights, or 3 options for lights. Front ones, back ones, and those should be the side lights that pop up on the 3rd one, but they don't. So I'm gonna have to bring it down to the dealer. They're gonna have to put some software, unlock the feature, but that's where those side lights should pop on. All right, so hopefully this helps you guys out a little bit. We're loving our new machines. We haven't used them a lot. The T76 we haven't even used yet, I don't think, but we drove it around a little bit. We just don't have time to use it right now, but we used the S66. Did great. Excited to use the T76. If you guys have any questions about the side lights or anything like that, I think the side lights turned out really, really good. They're a nice black color to really match the new LED lights that they put on these machines. They're super bright. I'm excited to try these out. Let's get them working, get down to the dealer, get those things working. With the side window openings being clear and all that kind of stuff, it's super nice for all this visibility for the new machines. I think people are really, really loving it. Only downside that I see on the machines so far is the circulation of the air. They're staying a lot cooler, but they're sucking air and clogging the filters super fast is one thing I noticed that people are saying. And another thing that people are saying are these sensors down here. These allow the bucket to do the auto level up and down for when you're lifting the pile. Those can get damaged and the wires could just do something weird, so keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on your filter. Those just need like a small tweak that I think the engineers are gonna fix. But overall, loving these machines. Hopefully have more content for you guys on these machines. Thank you guys for stopping by, appreciate it. Any questions about the lights, let us know.